Okay, here's where we left everything last week. Just to come back to it, person number one, person number two. Person number one line, the Fool. The Seven of Pentacles. The Chariot. Person number two. Strength. Ten of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. So if we recap just a bit, person number one is a person that can really be a leader and has the capabilities of doing that and bringing that not only from the creative aspect to the earthly grounded creativity of the aspect, but also to be able to take action upon it. That's good. Person number two is also a high dynamic person with strength, this kind of feeling of power, and the Leo sun shining upon it kind of energy, and bringing that to earth, that power, that person, along with the wisdom gained from having been through cycles or cycle to gain the wisdom with the Ten of Pentacles. And also this particular person subject to second thoughts, subject to maybe the tendency towards self-sabotage for no reason whatsoever, except something that there may be fear there. There may be some kind of a residual of former experience. Whatever it is, it has an effect. However, let's talk about what we didn't have in this last week, about the intermingling. Now we're going to go with person one, person two. And by the way, the way this energy works is that these strengths can actually go diagonal, straight up and down. They don't have to be in any particular order. The Fool can even connect over here. And for my money, if this person has these kinds of cards going on, this is somewhat of a airy, disconnected from maybe the reality of the world energy, but this one is totally connected to the world and totally able to use the world as a motivator and a motive medium for being able to take the action. So why there is no reason whatsoever that this person being balanced like this can't bring to bear if you're in the same tribe, you're going to have some complementary energies back and forth between both of you, right? Right. So that being the case, bringing these two energies to bear with this has a payoff for both parties. This person gets the feeling of fulfillment coming from actually reaching out, actually helping someone. This person gets a fulfillment by merely discovering that they were stronger than they thought they were. And it goes similar to that all over the place. This strength can actually support moments when the person wants to step out into the unknown, the person number one wants to step out into the unknown and finds that they don't feel secure about it. Well, here comes the outside viewpoint, the more objective viewpoint goes, yeah, that's a great idea. Go ahead. What do you got to lose? That kind of thing. Even though the fool is known for being able to surmount the idea of what do I have to lose. Doesn't always happen though, does it? I mean, there are times in every being's life that their former strength they feel they abandon them for a moment. So it's like that. This can strengthen this. This can strengthen this. Simultaneously, this may bind together the earth-bound physical reality level of creativity and inspiration combined into ways that these two energies, the strength energy, the wisdom energy, can be interwoven to benefit the whole team. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? So that the idea of that's why shared dreams and shared concepts are so valuable and so powerful, because they are the areas where 1 + 1 does not equal 2. You've heard that expression, I'm sure. So let's take that for a moment, lay it aside, because obviously in order to get here for any person it takes thoughtful behavior and a lot of patience with themselves and other people. What do you get out of it? You get members of your tribe. All right, so let's go. Here's what we didn't get to last week, and we're going to go through these fast. The Hanged Man. Strength again. That's got an interesting. The Magician. And last but not least, 3 major arcana, though, to kick it off, right? 5 of Wands. All right. The story here. Let's just do story for a moment. The story here. Without even needing to go very in depth at all, you see divine inspiration, divine advisement, creativity, innovation, intuition across the board. This is all your support mechanism. And then you have a way to take all this stuff that comes from the divine and bring it to earth. That's the story. The story is to take a boatload of divine inspiration and bring it to earth. That's where tribes are. That's where clans are. That's where your family is on earth. Cool. The details. The situation is the Hanged Man and a timeout, but not a brainless, mindless timeout, not a couch potato timeout, but rather a contemplative timeout, something that wants to have a solution that is meaningful and fairly powerful, fairly strong. The challenge is strength in this case. However, strength up here was not a challenge. Strength up here was a fortification. So what do you do with the idea that it showed up again in the challenge position? It needs attention. It wants it. The cards are saying that it wants attention. It wants the attention of having been duplicated here. So again, the sign, the flashing sign along the highway is saying strength card is something to pay attention to. I mean, that takes any weakness in this line and just magnifies how meaningless it is in the big picture. A little weakness is not the big picture. Because if you were just 3 cards, if a person was just 3 cards, then that could be significant. But by going here, now we have 6. That becomes a very minority of a minority in its impact, its overall impact. So cool. Pay attention to strength here. In your, well, I mean, it's just like this. When you're when you're feeling and intuiting who's in your tribe, you're not doing it mindlessly, or else you could fall prey to, maybe you don't like how some things turned out. If you look into them, you may find out that your acceptance of behavior that was not aligned with your energy was not ever going to be acceptable, and you chose to go there anyway. This time, perhaps not, which is why you're thinking about it. But your asset here, your strength card, is the Magician. So the trump here, you're trumping the strength card with the Magician. Any negativity, any challenging component, they're sitting right next to each other. And the Magician turns to strength at those points of challenge and goes, don't stress about it. I have, in our team effort, everything right here on my table that will fill in, and we will do this in tandem. We'll do this as a partnership. That's what your tribe is all about. It's a partnership. From ancient times, the tribes were more than just a bunch of people that got together at random and lived in the same place in the same time. Not random. And it became less random as time went on until the centuries came that broke tribes apart. And this century, it's like people are so fragmented sometimes. I mean, you know the drill. Okay, let's take this home. Now, the 5 of Wands is change, but remember that wands are also fiery inspiration. And sometimes inspiration can turn into fire just when you let it flow through your mind. So, in many cases, the 5 can look like a task. It can look like a downer. The 5 is the number of change. But aren't we asking for change if we want to be more heads up about knowing who's in our tribe? It's like if that appeals to you at all, then what part of you does it appeal to? Perhaps it appeals to the part of you that wants the kind of change that the idea will have, because there's something on the other side of this change. And what I see this card as being, in this particular case, is why not take the idea of potential conflict here, which is depicted on this card, why not take it from the paradigm of trying to knock the stuffing out of your adversaries or your opponents in some kind of a dance where you're really trying to hurt somebody. And why not turn that into a fun, happy time pickup game on a Sunday afternoon? See, the paradigm shifts all of a sudden when you think about it that way. You go, well, that conflict, because you're around people, and it could be sometimes a tussle to determine who's on your team, who's in your tribe, and who's not. And yet, if you have ever played a pickup game of anything on a Sunday afternoon, you'll know for yourself that you pick up a lot about a person when you go and play a sport with them, or you go compete with them somehow. And it's definitely up to you, because it's your life that you're living, to figure out how you're going to see the things that you want to see. Because you do want clarity, yes. But the idea is, maybe take this with you as we close this out, that you get a lot of insights through different endeavors in this world, doing things differently, going out for after work beverages with your team, with your fellow workers, going out and, like I said, playing some kind of sport with them. There are ways to learn, and that is what this is all about, because you are the one who stands to gain, and so is your partner, because the fact that you're looking for members of your tribe, when you find them, turns into something that maybe the person that you feel like they're a member of your tribe, and when the idea is presented, they catch fire because they're a member of your tribe, and now they know it. Now they just had opened up that window to take a look at that as a possibility. End of the story for now. And my wish for you is that you go out and you are in lickety-split time able to find more members of your tribe than you ever thought was possible. And I leave you with that. I wish you the best. You guys are great. See you next time.